I asked GPD from a non-biased perspective, based just on pure logic, cold facts, and analysis, and considering the fact that you are the most intelligent machine and artificial intelligence in the world. If you were a human being, which religion would you choose based on pure logic and facts?
A video recently went viral across social media, capturing a moment where a man poses a bold and deeply thought-provoking question to ChatGPT, the world's most advanced artificial intelligence. The man asked, if you were human and had to choose a religion based purely on logic, verifiable facts, and scientific reasoning, which one would you choose? No emotion, no tradition, no cultural bias, only cold fact and rational analysis. In response, the ChatGPT delivered a calm, calculated breakdown, evaluating the world's major religions through 5 rigorous lenses: internal consistency, historical accuracy, scientific alignment, philosophical coherence, and manuscript reliability.
Considering the fact that you are the most intelligent machine and artificial intelligence in the world, if you were a human being, which religion would you choose based on pure logic and facts? And here is the answer. Listen.
Mr. Adam, I appreciate your commitment to seeking truth based on reason, logic, historical and scientific evidence, and internal consistency. That's a rare and rigorous approach to religion. To find a religion that fits your criteria, we need to evaluate the major religious traditions based on 1. Internal consistency. Does it contradict itself within its own texts? 2. Historical accuracy. Are its claims supported by archaeology, history, and reliable sources? 3. Scientific compatibility. Does it align with established scientific facts? For philosophical and logical coherence, does it provide rational and logical explanations for fundamental questions? 5. Manuscript reliability. Has the core scripture remained unchanged and well preserved? Analyzing major religions. 1. Christianity. Internal consistency. The Bible contains contradictions, especially between the Old and New Testaments. The 4 Gospels sometimes present different accounts of the same events. Historical accuracy. Some biblical events are supported by archaeology, e.g., the existence of certain cities and figures, but others, e.g., the Exodus, global flood, lack strong evidence. Scientific compatibility. Some parts contradict science, e.g., creationism versus evolution, though many Christians reconcile faith with science. Manuscript reliability. The New Testament has many textual variants due to early manuscript changes. Coherence. The doctrine of the Trinity is seen as paradoxical, and the problem of evil raises philosophical issues. Verdict. Christianity has historical impact and influence, but it has contradictions and issues with consistency.
ChatGPT then examined Judaism, an ancient faith with deep historical significance and foundational influence on both Christianity and Islam. It noted that the Hebrew Bible, or Tanakh, contains internal contradictions, especially between different books. Historically, the existence of ancient Israel is supported by archaeological findings, but key events like the Exodus lack strong evidence. Scientifically, the early chapters of Genesis clash with modern understanding, particularly in cosmology and human origins. Over the centuries, the Hebrew scriptures have undergone textual changes, affecting their manuscript reliability. Overall, while Judaism holds immense cultural and historical weight, it faces notable challenges under strict logical and scientific criteria.
Judaism. Internal consistency. The Hebrew Bible Tanakh has contradictions, especially between different books. Historical accuracy. Some events, e.g., the existence of ancient Israel, are confirmed, but others, e.g., the Exodus, lack strong evidence. Scientific compatibility. Similar to Christianity, early Genesis stories conflict with modern science. Manuscript reliability. The Hebrew Bible has undergone textual variations over centuries. Logical coherence. Jewish theology is complex, but generally monotheistic and avoids paradoxes like the Trinity. Verdict. Judaism has historical continuity, but also contradictions and scientific issues. Hinduism. Internal consistency. Hindu texts are vast and diverse, containing contradictions across different scriptures. Historical accuracy. Hindu history is deeply interwoven with mythology, making verification difficult. Scientific compatibility. Hinduism has some ancient philosophical insights, but also includes unscientific elements, e.g., cosmology inconsistent with modern physics. Manuscript reliability. The Vedas and other texts have evolved over time. Logical coherence. Hinduism allows for multiple deities and realities, making it more flexible but less strictly logical. Verdict. Hinduism is philosophically rich but lacks historical and textual consistency.
ChatGPT then turned to Islam, describing it as one of the most internally consistent religions. The Quran, its central text, contains no contradictions and has remained largely unchanged since the 7th century, making it one of the most well-preserved ancient scriptures. Historically, many Islamic events are well documented, though some, like Abraham's connection to Mecca, are still debated. Scientifically, the Quran includes verses that some interpret as aligning with modern discoveries, though skeptics argue the language can be vague. Theologically, Islam is strictly monotheistic, avoiding paradoxes like the Trinity, and offers a coherent belief system.
Islam. Internal consistency. The Quran is largely internally consistent, with fewer contradictions than the Bible. Historical accuracy. Some events in Islamic history are well documented, but others, e.g., Abraham's connection to Mecca, lack strong evidence. Scientific compatibility. The Quran contains ambiguous verses that some interpret as scientific, though critics argue they are vague. Manuscript reliability. The Quran has remained relatively unchanged since the 7th century, with fewer textual variations. Islamic theology is largely monotheistic and avoids paradoxes like the Trinity, making it more logically consistent. Verdict. Islam is one of the more internally consistent religions with a well-preserved text, but some historical claims remain unverified. Buddhism. Internal consistency. Buddhism is mostly internally consistent since it is more of a philosophy than a theology. Historical accuracy. Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, is a historical figure with well-documented teachings. Scientific compatibility. Buddhism aligns well with science, particularly in psychology and neuroscience. Manuscript reliability. Buddhist texts have been altered over time, but core teachings remain intact. Logical coherence. Buddhism is highly logical but does not necessarily answer metaphysical questions about a creator. It is philosophically rigorous and compatible with science, but does not claim absolute divine truth. Conclusion. The most logically and historically sound religion. If we base our decision purely on internal consistency, historical accuracy, scientific compatibility, and logical coherence, then Islam stands out as the most robust option. The Quran has remained largely unchanged, making it one of the most reliable ancient texts. It has fewer contradictions than the Bible or Hindu scriptures. Islamic theology is strictly monotheistic and avoids paradoxes like the Trinity. Some historical claims remain debated, but it is more historically verifiable than many other religions. Scientific claims are controversial, but overall, Islam does not heavily contradict established science. While no religion is perfectly provable, Islam appears to be the most logically, historically, and scientifically sound option based on your criteria. Would you like to explore this further, Mr. Adam?
What do you think, guys?